Aquaman Deep Dives Issue 2 heads to the Black Sea, where Arthur finds that someone has been dumping toxic waste into the sea, poison that has recently reached Atlantis. He sees the mutant fish that have spawned thanks to the waste, and he tries to reach out to them with his powers, but they ignore him. He knows that they are all broken, and while he doesn't read their minds or control fish, he knows that something else is down there with them, something big, lying low in the mountain of toxic waste. Soon he sees more barrels being dumped into the water above him, and going up to the surface to investigate, he begins to hear gunfire. He finds an attack sub belonging to the Sea Devils is involved, making Arthur know that he's got to shut them down before this becomes a bloodbath. On the boat, the captain is alerted to the ship being boarded as the Sea Devils launch their attack, setting up explosive charges and jamming the ship's radios. Aquaman arrives, confronting the villains who stand down. Their leader, Dane Durrance, remembers his previous run-ins with the hero, as does Arthur, who wonders why they are attacking boats now, since he always pegged them as kelp huggers. Dane says that he and his team were almost killed by a group of whalers recently, so they needed to step up their methods, but Arthur knows that they are just eco-terrorists. Dane says that if that were true, he wouldn't be warning Arthur of the sailors who are trying to sneak up on him. The sailors open fire on the group of people, but Arthur pushes Dane behind some cover, demanding to know who these people are. Dane says that they are the Russian mob who work with an oligarch named Alexander Kunzdov, a biotech billionaire who is saving millions by dumping his waste in the ocean. Dane knows that Arthur saw the mountain of waste on the sea floor, as Arthur tells him not to kill any of these people. Dane promises to be gentle as he opens fire on the men and they all attack. Minutes later, the fight is over and the men are all rounded up, and Arthur is impressed with Dane's restraint, but the man says that he's not out to kill anyone, and the narrative of him being a terrorist is only being pushed by the people he wants to hold accountable. One of his men asks where their explosives went, since he needs to cancel the timers, but one of the sailors says he pushed it overboard. Suddenly there's an explosion below as the bombs destroy the toxic waste, sending a shockwave through Arthur's mind as a huge hungry mutant anglerfish races to the surface, attacking the ship as Aquaman tells the Sea Devils to get everyone to safety in the sub. Aquaman attacks the monster, stabbing its angler and diving into the water after it, feeling its unbridled agony and rage. The fish keeps feeding on the waste and drawing strength from it, causing it to smash the hero away and allowing it to return to the surface to try and attack the ship. The fish, however, comes back for Arthur, who knows he needs to hold it off until the Sea Devils can evac the sailors. He considers calling in Superman or the Justice League to help him when suddenly the Sea Devils sub fires missiles at the fish. Dane says that he has all the people on board, telling him that they figured that jail time sounded better than drowning. Dane comments on how the fish's swim bladder must be different from a normal anglerfish since it's come up very high from the bottom of the ocean. The monster suddenly, however, swallows the sub whole. Aquaman knows there might be a chance that they survived it, so knowing what Dane said about the fish's swim bladder, Aquaman speeds headfirst into the fish, bursting out of the other side and causing the fish to explode, spitting out the sub intact. Later on, Arthur meets with Dane up on the surface, who thinks that the hero will be turning them in now. Arthur, however, says that he's impressed with how the Sea Devils handled the situation and wants them to come and work for him and Atlantis. Dane says that they are kind of self-employed, but Arthur says that they would be surface liaisons for Atlantis, meaning the Sea Devils could operate legitimately. Judy tells Dane to agree, since if they keep going alone, someone will die soon, and she wouldn't mind seeing Atlantis. Dane asks if there is any benefits, and Arthur tells him that they will have diplomatic immunity, but more importantly, they will find the right way to save Mother Ocean. Aquaman Deep Dives Issue 2 was a really fun one and done story that saw the Sea Devils make a return and Arthur do the kingly thing of making an ally out of an enemy. It was cool seeing the Sea Devils' previous interaction with Arthur during the New 52 Jeff Johns run be kind of the basis of the story, and how it built on it and furthered Dane's story of trying to break out from the eco-terrorist labeling his organization has gotten thanks to their enemies. I'd love if we got to see more of the Sea Devils going forward as Atlantis emissaries, but as a one-off story, it tied up everything nicely. I'm going to give this issue an 8.5 out of 10.